What is up, everyone? Welcome to the FA podcast. It's been quite a while, as the description of the show reads today. It's been a long hiatus. Week 5 was the last time I was on the air. Life hits, John, and it hits hard. So stuff happens. But um Yeah. So we got the Super Bowl. I was just down in Mobile last week at the Panini Senior Bowl. It was a fantastic time. Cold as hell compared to last year. I mean, last year we were baking in the sun. Um, and it was hot as all get out in the 60s, 70s. This year, complete opposite, man. It was in the 20s at night, 30s, 40s. It did get up to, I think it hit 50 one or two of the days I was there. Um, but when we were at the stadium, it was like, dude, you the sun goes down after the first practice ended because they switched everything around this year. Practices were in the afternoon and night versus the morning like it was last year. New management happens. But yeah, once that sun went down behind the stadium, oh my gosh, it was like a Antarctica out there in Mobile. So it was wild. But yeah, I wanted to start off just some thoughts, John. I didn't know if you had any um if you had watched the Senior Bowl or any of the practices or not, but I have a list of some takeaways that I had for a bunch of players. Cannot hear you, John. No. Gotta get the right mic. That's always fun. I had that happen to me um, when I first came on. Well, anyways, while John tries to get his audio working there, um, starting off, I'll just go positionally, and I break it down by quarterback. Nope. Looks like you gotta go back to the phone, John. I think. um, Starting out with quarterbacks. So I had, I believe, one thing on each of the quarterbacks. Not all of them. I had 5 of the quarterbacks listed here, um, with some stuff about them. But
Can you hear me?
yeah, yeah.
That's crazy. Well, I was going to say a few things. One, you're like the Carolina Panthers podcast, and they came back and they made the playoffs. So, benefit. And I'm studying for the bar. So, I have actually sadly been very behind on my draft stuff. All I know is there's a few guys I really like in the draft, and I don't even know if they're at the Senior Bowl. So, tell me what
Well,
happened.
well, yeah. So, like I said, I'm gonna go through just positionally how I always see or list positions as I go quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, OT, OG, center, D tackle slash nose, uh, D end slash outside edge player, linebacker, corner, then safety. I did not put anything about the specialists this year. Although, if you would like information on the specialists, I did interview the best punter in the nation, the Ray Guy Award winner, Brett Thorson, out of the best school in the country, the University of Georgia. Brett Thorson, Aussie, is amazing. Go look at TikTok for that. I think it's at Football Addicts and On is on TikTok, if I remember correctly. Um, just making sure. No, Football Addicts Pod on TikTok. Go watch that interview that I did with Brett Thorson. Um, and I'm not a sports comm. I was never a sports comm major, so it's not the greatest. But quarterbacks, Luke Altmaier. Really, I only had just one little nugget for all these players, really. But Luke Altmaier, out of Illinois, I just put feels like he'll be a quality backup for years to come. He just seems like a guy that he doesn't have the physical. He doesn't. He's not big, like massive. Not like Taylor Green is 6'6". He's I think 6'1", and doesn't have a big arm, but he's smart, right? And that's how you get in the league, and that's how you stay in the league for a while at the quarterback position. If you have the mental, you might not be a starter, but you can make a pretty good living as a backup quarterback, and do that. But Taylor Green, I just talked about him, 6'6", like I said, tallest quarterback at the Senior Bowl, has the strongest arm of all the Senior Bowl quarterbacks. I mean, it was on display, and I believe he also led. They have their Zebra tracking systems that they do for all the advanced stats, and I believe he led in air yards for the longest pass of the week. It was like 61 yards or something like that. Crazy. But yeah, I mean, I saw he ripped a couple of them, deep balls. That was really it that I saw from Taylor Green. I was not impressed. I wasn't impressed by any of the quarterbacks, really. I didn't think that any of them muted, John. You muted yourself.
Is Taylor Green Arkansas?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, dumb question. This was Nussmeier versus Pavia, right? As the starters?
Yes.
Got it. Nussmeier won MVP, right?
Correct. Yeah, he won. I think it was American. He was on the American team, I think. American team MVP. Yeah.
Was he impressive? Like what people thought? Because I know he was a big name to go early at the start of the year, and then he just didn't have the year people were expecting.
Yeah, it's interesting. I thought I had stuff written on him. Apparently, I didn't put it on my takeaway sheet. But I can talk a lot about Nussmeier. Again, I wasn't impressed. Very inconsistent to me. Obviously, I was driving back during the game, so I was kind of listening to it. Seemed like he played a lot better in the game than he did in the practices, at least to me. Now, NFL scouts and like Daniel Jeremiah, those guys, they had some differing opinions, which is good. It's fine. That's what you do it for. You have difference of opinion. Everyone sees players differently, but again, I saw a lot of inconsistencies, especially deep balls. Deep ball accuracy was a big time issue that I saw in practice. He missed countless like fade balls and corner of the end zone throws. So deep ball accuracy was a big struggle that I saw. But like I said, I mean, apparently he played a lot better in the game than he did at the practices. As far as what I saw. Your boy, Diego Pavia, out of Vandy, formerly New Mexico State, of course.
Gig him.
Small stature is noticeable. Oh my goodness, man. I mean, so they list this kid at I think it was 5'9" and 7/8, okay? And it was funny. You walked out, man, and he was tiny, like super tiny. I mean, I do not know, but has commanding presence. It seemed like when he was in the huddle, everyone listened. He took command of that, and the athletic ability is a big positive that I saw from Pavia. Ran some in both the game and the practices, did some read option stuff. He's not anywhere close size wise, but I think a Taysom Hill kind of role could work for Pavia because he just doesn't have the size to sit back there and be a drop back quarterback in my mind.
See, that's who I compared him to at the beginning of the season was Taysom Hill. Like that's the type of role he has. It's kind of funny because like completely different. Because how tall is Taysom Hill?
He's
You know, like
big.
6'5".
6'4".
Yeah, like
Yeah.
so. I think that a Taysom Hill role. I agree. Not in terms of size, like he's not going to go line up as a tight end for you, but have like a package for him. That being said, another person they compared to Pavia who could do a similar role was Jalen Milrow.
Yeah.
And he's a lot bigger, a lot faster. And even he struggled to do something like that this year. It's just hard to like get that game plan into the system, you know?
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
but I'm always going to rock with Pavia, even though he's a tiny Mexican like us, all of us in Albuquerque.
Yeah, it was just him, and I'm gonna talk about Aaron Anderson in a second, but those 2, I mean, they were tiny, tiny,
And
tiny.
I'll say this about Pavia: he knew his NFL shot was not great.
Yeah.
That's why he had the whole lawsuit for an extra year. He
Yeah.
wanted that NIL money because he knows he's not going to get a. He doesn't have a. I don't want to say he doesn't have a chance, but he knew. You know,
I mean,
you
he's a
can lie and say you're 6 feet, but once you, like you said, once you see him in person, you know.
yeah, I mean, he's a big time competitor though. That'll always teams always covet that. So, as long as
Yeah, I
so
love him, but his off the field stuff, he could be. He needs to stop that distraction shit if
yeah,
he really wants to succeed.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, you're not a top pick, my guy. But he
Uh
really won't.
Moving on to the only FCS quarterback that was in Mobile, Cole Payton, North Dakota State. Again, I was not impressed. He has a big time extended delivery, tight hips on bootlegs, rolling to the right because he's a southpaw. Um, I really liked what I saw with Cole Payton at NDSU, but again, mechanics. I think he has a ways to go working on those, getting a shorter throw, and he has a kind of awkward throwing motion as well. Um, but he can run for sure, and he's the opposite of Pavi. He's big. He is big, built in, and he's that kind of mold that I personally like in my running quarterbacks. The Cam Newton, big, physical, can take the hits, has the body size to take the hits. So that's what I like from Cole Payton. He might go his the Tommy Malott route. I don't think he has the speed though, like Tommy Malott does to run routes. Um, I would like to see Cole Payton go the way that I thought Tommy Malott was gonna go or should have went because of what I saw at Montana State last year. Running back. I thought Tommy Malott should have played running back. He went to wide receiver with the Raiders, still playing with them, but I think Cole Payton has a decent shot. If he'd go to running back, I don't know, maybe not. And then last quarterback, Sawyer Robertson. He was my favorite quarterback there. Impressive size. I think he's 6'5", and captaining voice at the line of scrimmage. His vocals were very noticeable. You could hear him making the calls at the line of scrimmage and his cadence as well. Um, had some bad decision making though during the game situation, which I saw at the end of the last practice of the week. Katron Allen, going to the running backs, Penn State. I interviewed him. Gotta say, I was disappointed in the interview. He was kind of awkward, but I don't know. He's a good player. Acceleration through the hole, exactly what NFL teams are looking for. Powerful runner that can hit home runs, and he did struggle in the receiving game during practice, though. That was a big thing that I saw. Multiple drops from Katron Allen. The routes weren't terrible, but it's the hands that he had an issue with, just catching the ball there. Jaden Ott out of Oklahoma. I talked to a couple people there, and I was like, yeah, like I was super surprised, and so were they. The lack of usage at Oklahoma from Jaden Ott. Um, Big time star coming out of Cal and went to Norman and just didn't do a lot. But great day 2. That's the first practices that I went to because I didn't get there till Tuesday. But Wednesday, great day 2. Stonewaller as a pass blocker. I mean, he was the best pass blocking running back that I saw in Mobile. Adam Randall from Clemson, he had a fumble on day 2, but natural pass catcher, has power after the catch as well. So I think I like Adam Randall as a third down back. Um, Going to the wide receivers, like I said, Aaron Anderson, hand in hand with Pavia. Anderson's even smaller, dude. I was like, who is this? And we laughed.
How much smaller? How much smaller can you get than 5'9"?
Yeah, we laughed and we're like, "Who's this high school kid?" My man is 5'7" and 7/8.
Wow.
Yeah, it was wild. And he's like 168 or something like that.
He better be quick.
He is. I said super small stature. I was unimpressed with his speed though.
He's a running back?
Wide receiver.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay. Still, that's crazy.
What's crazy is this Miami Heat versus Boston Celtics game. This thing's coming down to the wire.
Well, I'm watching UConn St. John's.
Well, I'll
Also coming down to the wire. 2 points for 4 minutes.
I like that one too. Go Huskies. Ted Hurst. I think Ted Hurst might have been my favorite wide receiver of the week. Georgia State. Impressive body type. My man is 6'4", 6'5", and he is built. He's got the cannons on his arms. Strength shows up versus press man and at the point of the catch. Strong hands, can get off press, and again, powerful wide receiver that is in your mold of your jump ball, your Julio Jones, Mike Evans kind of guys. Jacoby Lane, USC. I mean, the size is real. The question that I had, how fast is he? That he was the biggest wide receiver, I think. I think he's 6'6". And again, it's when you see him in person, it's like, holy crap, my man is massive. He's skinny though. He needs to put some muscle on because he had some sticks for arms and legs. So I'd like to see Jacoby Lane maybe try to fill out his frame a little bit more when he gets to the NFL. But I mean, the size is definitely impressive with him. And the last guy, D3, Tyron Montgomery. Dude, I was impressed by this kid. I mean, he's got size, natural strider, and he didn't look displaced against the higher level of competition. So he's definitely.
Where do you go to school? You said a D3 school?
Yeah, John Carroll.
Who's come out of John Carroll before? We've had guys.
A shit ton of coaches. That's head coach university. There have been a ton of NFL head coaches coming out of John Carroll. Just not a lot of players. But yeah,
dang, general managers too.
Yes.
London Fletcher.
There you go.
McDaniels. Holy shoot. Yeah, you're right. That's crazy.
But yeah, Tyron Montgomery.
London Fletcher's a good pull though.
But yeah, Tyron Montgomery, I was super impressed, man. I had never heard of this kid, and it's one of those guys, he comes to Mobile, he balls, and he's on the mat now. So now it's like, all right, well, will he get invited to Indy? That's a big. I'm sure he will, because of his stuff that he did in Mobile. So interested to watch him at the combine. Unfortunately, I will not be there, but I will be texting with my people that are there. Only one tight end to note, Joshua Cuevas from Alabama. I had strong hands at the catch point, able to secure tough balls outside his frame. So I liked Cuevas there. I didn't really like a lot of the tight ends. The kid from Nebraska, that I'm blanking on his name right now, but he was pretty solid. No, that was last year.
Who did he go to?
The Giants in the 5th round, I think.
I'm proud that I had that Nebraska tight end pool, though, even though I had the wrong year. He was a 7th round pick.
Okay. Uh, Going to tackles. Some of these guys I think are position versatile. Markel Bell is probably not one of those guys out of Miami. Is That was a guy that I had not heard of before. But he's an uh, off the bus first type of guy. Um, A plus size. So the roster that I had that I printed off of the Senior Bowl's website did not list his size because he was a late comer. But I just eyeballed him versus Demetrius Crownover, which is the Texas A&M guy I'm going to talk about next. And Demetrius Crownover is, I think, 6'7" listed. Uh, and I originally said, all right, Markel Bell, I mean, he's just gigantic. I said 6'7", 6'8", probably. And he's right there. He's helmet to helmet. You could kind of see that he was right around that. But yeah, I mean, gigantic and impressive mover, kind of like he moved okay. Didn't get beat too much that I saw. So, but Demetrius Crownover from A&M has a difficult time using his size to his advantage. Can stay too high at times. Like I said, he's another guy that's big, 6'7", but needs to be able. I want to see more knee bend from Crownover. I know those when you get that tall, it's difficult to get down. But I want to see more knee bend, more athleticism from Crownover when he goes to Indy in his pro day.
What did you think about was Eli Stowers there?
I don't believe so. I can't remember. I think he was because I think I remember hearing his name. So
He's a guy. I'm talking about former New Mexico State players.
Yeah. Huh?
What's your thought about North Dakota State going to the Mountain West?
I haven't heard anything about it.
It came out like 4 minutes ago. That's what I was saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it's not in football though, is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Football only.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, they've been able to compete with the mid majors before, so I'm not really surprised if they would. FS1.
That's good for the Mountain West. That's a big program.
Oh, for sure. For sure. The next tackle I'm going to talk about is Jennings Dunker out of Iowa. And I mean, he anchors well, road grader in the run game. I mean, I was super impressed with both of the Iowa linemen, Bo Stevens as well, a guy I really hadn't heard a lot about. But Bo Stevens, what I had for him, ditto everything that I said about Dunker. You can never go wrong drafting an Iowa O lineman. So there you go. Those two very, very good players. Max Ianachor, Arizona State, super impressed. And I know Daniel Jeremiah also fell in love with this kid during the game. You can see his athletic ability. I mean, he pulls as a tackle, which is a difficult thing to do. Solid day 3 for what I wrote. Able to lock it down in both run and pass blocking. So, John, what channel is this freaking UConn game on?
Oh, it's a great question. I think it's a Fox thing. I don't know. It's on YouTube TV.
Oh gosh, I don't have YouTube TV. Actually, technically, I do through my sister, but
I have it only this month and next month because after college basketball, there's not much else.
yeah, I got it. It's on Fox. Why is UConn losing? This is BS.
My friend just sent me a link to the Mountain West news too.
One center I had of note, I was not impressed. Delby Lemieux from Dartmouth. This is another one with Daniel Jeremiah. Thought he played very well during practice. I did not. I thought he struggled against upper level competition, questionable strength. showed up in the limited anchoring ability. So I was not very impressed with the Dartmouth guy. Flipping to defense, interior D line, Caleb Banks from Florida, big time size. He's 6'6". Pass rush upside as well, which is kind of what DJ said as well during the game when I heard him talk about Caleb Banks. And Caleb Banks had a pretty solid game, but a very good week down in Mobile. Only played a couple games last year because of injuries, but it was good to see him out on the field and dominating, really. He's a big time gamer there. Should go, I think, at the very worst, day 2. Grayson Halton, Oklahoma. I was super impressed with all the Oklahoma Sooners, really. Um, this guy I had never heard of, but he balled out. I mean, he ate up interior O lineman in the pass rush, powerful pusher in both the pass and the run game as well. So Grayson Halton, the riser for me out of OU. To the edge rushers, a guy I interviewed, Romello Height out of Texas Tech. This kid was electric and high energy edge player. Speed moves have the potential to be elite, and he's a speed demon coming off the edge. And that's what he said. Whenever I asked him, what's the number one trait you want NFL teams to take note of, and he said speed, which again, what I saw during practices. So it made a ton of sense that he would say that. Gabe Jockus out of Illinois, speed to power, repertoire of pass rush moves. I was super impressed with Gabe Jockus's pass rush ability there in Mobile, and I was happy that I was able to see him after the last practice of the week and dap him up and tell him that he did a very good job this week. Tyreek Sapp, another Florida guy. He was a late ad, he flipped rosters actually. Inside outside move is electric. That's all I got for him. Keyshawn Elliott, linebacker out of Arizona State, great communicator. Had a pretty good week. Owen Heineke, another Oklahoma Sooner there, linebacker. He was all over the field. Elite play recognition, was everywhere on day 3, and I heard he had a good game as well. Last linebacker I have, Kyle Lewis out of Pitt. Coverage speed is evident. He can stop the run effectively too. It was funny because the first day I was there on Wednesday, I saw him running, and you could see he was, I think, the fastest linebacker on the field. And then the third day, my second day, the last day of practices, he stuffed a couple runs. So I was like, all right, this guy's very good, very good. And he had a great career at Pitt. One corner that I noticed, Jalen Kilgore, just willing to stick his nose into the run game. I was super impressed. He had a goal line stuff on Indiana running back Kalen Black, and I was like, dang, like that's a corner getting in there. Yeah, this game's over. UConn down 5. Terrible, terrible defense. Terrible offense, I should say. Turnovers galore. And last guy, I think my favorite player of all the guys I watched in Mobile was a safety. If your team needs a safety, look no further than Dallas Fort Worth and the Purple Horned Frogs, TCU safety Bud Clark. Daniel Jeremiah, I know he noted him as well. Excellent day 2. He was all over the field. Hard-hitting safety, and he can cover. Has the ability to cover in space, both tight ends and running backs. Super, super impressed with Bud Clark.
I love safeties. Seattle doesn't have many picks this year, but if we can get a safety, that'd be great. Bud Clark.
Yeah. Bud Clark is a beast. And I think he's again kind of like Caleb Banks. He's a floor of day 2. All right, I know that I didn't expect to take that long, but when you and I get rambling on players, we go. So just skip the headlines. All right, let's talk Super Bowl here. Who has the edge? Okay, so we want to preface this this whole Super Bowl stuff uh, by reminding everyone that John is a Seahawks fan. So just
I
take
can be objective.
take what John says with a grain of salt.
I can be very objective, I promise.
um,
What I'm saying is what everything I say is correct.
all right. Well, you're going to be leading everything because your team is in the game, just like
Oh
mine.
god.
Just like
All
mine
right.
was last year. Just like mine was last year. So we're trying to get the pod back-to-back Super Bowl wins. You know, trying to got my Eagles last year, trying to get your Seahawks this year. So, sorry, Logan and Danny. I don't think the Packers won't get there in a while. Burn. Hey, better chance than Jimmy's Vikings. That's what you can say on that one. So, anyways, who has the edge? Special teams. Special teams. Who's got the edge there?
So I think this is one of the closer positions between the two teams. Rashid Shaheed has been an electric returner since he was acquired halfway through the season. That being said, Marcus Jones for the Patriots is also a fantastic returner. I think the Seahawks, who obviously are the favorite, need to be careful to not let him pop one because it's going to take something like that to give the Patriots a chance. And that could be likely because Marcus Jones is a baller. Also, that being said, Seattle's special teams like tackling has been fantastic. I don't know if I think they gave up maybe one return on the year early in the season, and that's when they were very hurt. So, in not considering just the run game, if you then look at punting, honestly, you're gonna have to tell me about the Patriots punter. Isn't it Behringer? Correct?
Yeah, dude. This again, like you said, special teams very, very close. Michael Dixon versus Bryce Behringer.
I
Neither.
love Dixon, but I don't know enough about Behringer.
Well, I can tell you both are elite. Neither have put a ball into the end zone. They've combined for 0 touchbacks throughout the playoffs, and I mean, Michael Dixon didn't have many touchbacks in the regular season either. So it's the prop bet that I've seen. I have not taken it because of what the stats are, what they are with the touchbacks and non touchbacks. So the odds are pretty high for a touchback to occur on punts if you would like to indulge in that sort of thing.
Let's say if you gave the punters like those are even, you say the returners are even, and you say just general special teams is even. The only reason I would lean Seattle in this category overall is because the kickers.
Yeah, yeah.
Jason Myers, best year he's had kicking, at least since he's been in Seattle, which has been majority of his career. I would trust him to make a. Oh my god, I'm so nervous saying this. I would trust him to make a game-winning field goal over a rookie, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
I heard this stat earlier today that the Patriots kicker has also been really bad on kickoffs, getting them out of bounds or not to the line, into the zone. So, I would overall, I think this is very close. If you wanted to call it even, I would understand. Because of Myers, I give Seattle the slight edge on special teams.
No, I agree. And I would also, even in the return game, because I'm not familiar with who returns kicks for the Patriots. I believe it's Travion Henderson. I think is one of them. I don't because Marcus Jones only returns punts, I believe. So that is also why I would give Seattle the edge in special teams as well, because Rashid Shaheed does both. All right, coaches, you got the coach of the year on one side and a finalist for the coach of the year on the other side.
This is another tough one. I'll be honest. I don't think Vrabel should have won coach of the year. Was he deserving? Yes. This was a year where there was every one of those nominees could have won, and there was a good argument.
Liam Cohen should have won.
I hate the 49ers, but I think Kyle Shanahan, the way he kept them competitive, I was surprised he came in last. That being said, Vrabel is a fantastic coach. I mean, he got them from 4 wins to the Super Bowl. Easy schedule, whatever. That's a big accomplishment. He had success in Tennessee. I think Vrabel's going to get these guys ready. However, Mike McDonald is like he's the defensive version of McVay, Shanahan. Like the way he schemes up defense to allow them to play so loose, but efficient, is phenomenal. Especially compared to seeing what Pete Carroll's defenses were those last few years. It's a very fun team to watch, the way he gets them ready. So, just so I don't sound biased, I would say this is even, and I think you could really go either way. Yeah. So I'll let you. I'm curious what you think, because I don't want to disrespect Vrabel. Vrabel's great. When he became an option as a coach, I was wanting Seattle to get him. I wanted them to get McDonald though too. So,
who is because McDonald calls plays, right?
On defense, correct.
Who's the defense?
If you look at the coordinators, offensive coordinators,
who's the defensive coordinator?
Auden Durde, the British dude.
Okay, that's right. Well, I think,
but that defense, that's Mike McDonald's baby.
Right.
Durde has done a very good job with the D line. He was Dallas's D line coach with the Michael Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence days. So he's a great coach as well. That's McDonald's defense, though.
Yeah, I would probably lean Patriots because of the overall. When you look at the coordinators, not that not having a defensive coordinator technically that calls plays is bad, but I do think I think Josh McDaniels, Clint Kubiak are even. I think that's very, very close. And I'm blanking on the Patriots guy right now.
I think his name's Terrell Williams.
That's the guy that had cancer. And
isn't he the defensive coordinator?
He is technically. I'm talking about the guy that has called plays the whole season, though. He was the linebackers coach, I believe. Zach Kerr. Yeah,
that's right.
He has done a very good job with this defense, and calling the signals with limited personnel.
Don't tell me you're giving a guy you couldn't remember the name the nod over Mike McDonald as the defensive play caller.
I'm not as the defensive play caller, but I'm saying overall, I think the Patriots are just like special teams for the Seahawks, slight favorites.
Okay.
Defense. Go. It's Seattle. I know. Defense.
Oh yeah, easy. That doesn't need that. I'm sure we're going to talk more about the defense later, so I don't think that needs discussion now. They're the best defense in the league.
All right. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they win on all 3 levels against the Patriots defense. Playmakers. Yes. Playmakers, skill positions.
Seattle. Seriously, Seattle. I think the run. Okay, let's go by like position rooms, like running backs. running back, I think New England gets the nod only because of depth, and that's because Charbonnet is hurt. I think Ken Walker is the best single running back in the game tomorrow, Sunday, but especially how he's been playing lately. But the two punch of Ramondre and Trevion, I think you can give New England the nod for the room.
That's interesting because Trevion has not been involved really in the playoffs. Not at all.
No, but they still can put him in. A lot of that could just be usage, right? Trevion could always be a home run hitter. So he's still someone you have to plan for, even though it has been Ramondre's rock most of the time, right? I think that also the game plan, just with how snowy it was, I think it makes sense to give it to the guy between the tackles, be harder to get to the edge and further up. So,
but against the Texans in the divisional and who'd they play in the
Chargers?
Yeah.
I see your point. I mean,
not involved, but I'm saying I agree though. I agree with the Patriots as the winner on the running backs.
And then tight end room. I know Hunter Henry is he is a guy who makes me nervous. I think he could have a big game.
And Austin.
Yeah, I'm giving Seattle the better tight end room though. Just all around. Okay, so here's the thing. If you're talking playmakers, they're not like Eric Saubert's not going to scare you vertically. However, all around tight end, the duo of Eric Saubert and AJ Barner has allowed this offense to really roll how it's going, like be able to run the ball well because they're blocking very well, able to make plays out of play action in 12 personnel. And Barner is a threat vertically on top of that. So I think that combination of the tight ends that's why Walker's done so well is because of how good that tight end room has been. So if you're looking at the tight end room in the term of quote unquote playmaker, I mean, hell, blocking on the edge to get Ken Walker one of his 3 touchdowns or 4 touchdowns the last 2 weeks, that is playmaking. So tight end room, I'm going Seattle.
Well,
I don't want to say easy because Hunter Henry is a legit guy. And I don't mean to disrespect Austin Hooper. He's a good player too. But I think Seattle's got to get the nod.
I'll go with you on that one too. And I'm surprised, John, you didn't include your boy Robbie Utes in the tight ends or the running backs.
You're right. I forgot the fullback love. I will. Okay. I'm trying to be honest where I like throughout this because in a little bit I'm about to pound the table for our defense and our chances generally. But Utes, he hasn't been bad. He hasn't popped on the screen like I expected. I still love Utes. Great special teamer. I haven't seen today's injury report. He has been limited the last few weeks. I don't think he played in the championship game actually. So we'll see. I mean, use of a fullback helps. Don't get me wrong.
Tight ends wise, like we said, Seattle. I'll also add Elijah Arroyo got activated off IR, so he is going to play.
We'll see. I hope he does. He was activated, but he was a healthy scratch against the Rams as well.
Yeah, I think they were holding him out just because he wouldn't.
I agree. I mean, if he plays,
they really would have needed him. I think maybe he would have played, but they felt it okay with their other guys.
I hope to see him play. He's a sneaky guy up the middle too.
Yeah. Wide receivers, last one. That's easy.
Seattle, right? I think that's pretty easy. I'm like, New England has some players, but who's their best receiver? Booty? Would you say?
They don't have a one.
Oh, I know. I'm saying who's their best. They don't have a one. That's my point. Like Booty, I would say Booty's their best player. I know Diggs just had 1,000. Both of those guys would be receiver 2. Actually, I would take them around. They would be the same level as like Cup right now.
Mac Matt Collins has had a good year for New England.
I don't know. Maybe it's the no. Maybe it's the no shoes. I don't like them. you know. But JSN and a bag of potatoes would win this because
Yeah,
it's JSN.
yeah. The offensive player of the year. Still salty. I had a bet on Puka Nakua.
And then we're
But,
talking Rashid Shaheed too.
yeah.
He
Catches the
might not have
freaking
a
ball.
catch, or this is his thing. He'll either go 0 catches for 0 yards, or he'll have like a 60-yard touchdown.
My man got like 4 targets last week in the NFC title game. Caught 1 down the sideline and dropped 2 of them.
Yeah, that's Shaheed for you, bro.
Very pissed.
Great.
Over 1.5 receptions. Pissed me off.
And then don't sleep on Jake Bobo. I'm serious.
Yeah,
he scored a touchdown, but his size, anytime he's like on the field, he doesn't get many opportunities. When he's on the field running a route, you got to take him seriously. He's a threat to catch the ball. Size, smooth routes. He has long arms. Just go pluck the ball, right? So if you get him lined up on Marcus Jones, it's over.
That's the sneakiest of sneaky dark horse. If you want a long shot first touchdown scorer bettors out there, he's like plus 6,000 right now or something like that. Crazy odds.
I don't think that's that crazy. What's Olani at? Do you have that up? What's George Olani at?
He was surprising. He was only at like 3,600, I think, when I looked last time. And really, you got to wait till closer to kickoff when the score bet has their power hour, because that's when you get boosted on first touchdowns. But right now on the score bet, that's what I'm going to go off of. Yeah, Halani 2,500.
Interesting.
Jake Bobo, yep, I was right, 6,000.
Yeah. Bobo, that'd be not that I'm a betting man, but that'd be a fun one. So overall, where'd we go? Tight ends and receivers for Seattle, running backs to New England.
Yep.
And then overall, just guys to pop. JSN and Walker, I think, are the individual most explosive skill players. And Henderson. But as you said, he hasn't done much lately.
Yeah. All right, quarterbacks. So May barely lost the MVP to Stafford. I was salty about that one. I thought he should have won.
Of course, you were a May supporter. Nothing shocks me anymore.
Wagers. Go ahead. Darnold versus May.
So May was the MVP favorite for a reason, right? He had a great regular season. He had a better regular season than Darnold. Although Darnold had a good year too, outside of like 2 games, he was good, like last year, just these 2 were not as important. But playoffs, May has not looked great. Yeah. How many fumbles has he lost? And Darnold has been, well, he didn't have to do much against the 49ers. He had arguably his best game against the Rams 2 weeks ago. 3 touchdowns, no picks. He hasn't thrown a pick in the playoffs, knock on wood. So if you wanted an answer for the best quarterback over the last month, Darnold. If you wanted for the regular season, Drake May.
Yeah, and it's an interesting one because obviously you mentioned the performances. It's tough to not account for who they played as well. Drake Mays had to go up against including the Super Bowl coming up. He will have had to face the top 3 scoring defenses in the league in 3 straight games against the Texans, the Broncos, and now the Seahawks. And like you said, he did not do very well. Obviously, we had the snow in Denver, but against the Texans, it was a turnover palooza in that game. And the Patriots, I think, kind of were lucky to win that one with the amount of turnovers that CJ Stroud had. But yeah, I mean, Darnold's been on fire. The chemistry with JSN and even Cooper Kupp has had an uptick in looks in the playoffs.
He's turning it up.
And I think he's going to be motivated as well to win ring number 2.
Imagine if he gets MVP. That'd be crazy.
I didn't want to mention that because he's not that.
Hey,
he's not that guy.
You know who would have been MVP had Seattle won the last time these teams played? I would be surprised if you remember this guy's name. Wide receiver.
Talking about Jermaine Kearse?
No. Chris Matthews.
Oh, yeah.
And not Mr. MSNBC, Chris Matthews. Chris Matthews had 2 touchdowns, 115 yards.
But wasn't Chris Matthews the guy that they threw against Malcolm Butler?
No, that's Ricardo Lockett.
Okay.
Chris Matthews was also the guy the week before who caught the onside kick against the Packers. Chris Matthews was a bottom of the roster receiver and then just decided to have the best 2-game span of his career and then went on to do nothing.
Wow.
Actually, football-wise, 2 great games and that was it.
But
on the infamous pass,
he didn't even have the
Lockett ran the in, and Jermaine Kearse was supposed to be blocking Brandon Browner, but he wasn't successful, which is what got Mr. Butler.
Well,
to make a jump.
Russ also threw the ball up the field too far. Just saying, because I rewatched the game the other day.
Yeah, it was a little behind him. But
it was in
also
front. It was too far in front. That's why Butler had a chance.
Well, you probably just watched it. I've purposely ignored it. but
Chris Matthews didn't make the catch of the game though. Jermaine Kearse did.
Dude, 2 touchdowns.
The
100+ yards.
The crazy bobbled catch on the sideline.
Rusty, I'm sorry, you're wrong. Had they won, Chris Matthews would have been MVP. There's an argument had they won because Marshawn scored a touchdown. Mm-hmm. I think that would have been his second touchdown too. There would have been an argument it could have been Lynch, especially the second one would have been the winner.
He had that long catch down the sideline too. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Marshawn had a great game. So I think it would have been between those 2.
Anyways,
regardless, let's not talk about the most painful moment.
I'm gonna go Darnold just barely because.
Okay, no, I'm. Hey, you said it, not me.
Hotter quarterback, and he is playing a lesser defense than the Seahawks. So, all right, pretty sure we're on Seattle. It won special teams. They won special teams slightly, defense by a landslide, playmakers moderately, and quarterback also, I think, close.
There's an argument that they have better coaches.
Patriots, I picked Patriots for coaching slightly. So, yeah.
I think I got upset, but I think it's fair.
X Factors. Okay, so I asked you guys to name X Factors kind of after I had already put 3 pictures on here. So there's 3, but someone else, I think it was Jimmy, also said Rashid Shaheed. He was literally the first guy that popped into my head without X Factor. Rashid Shaheed. I'm telling you, John, he will do it. He will return a touchdown, either a kick or a punt. He will return.
I hope so.
For a touchdown.
I hope so.
He will do it.
I'll be very elated.
So he is one of my 3. The second one, a guy we literally mentioned a little bit. He hasn't really played. He didn't play as much as I thought he would with the Zach Charbonnet injury. I thought he might have played a little bit more in the NFC title game. Maybe it was just, getting his first game in really in an increased role more than special teams. But George Holani, I'm telling, he's going to make a play. He's going to make some random play that we're like, or for casual fans, they're like, who the hell is George Holani? Well, there he is.
George Alani,
Former Boise State Bronco.
Yeah, he is what kept Ashton Genty out of the starting spot.
Yeah.
Genty didn't start till Alani got off campus. And the championship game was also his first game back from injury. He'd been on IR most of the season.
Right.
So I think now that he has an extra 2 weeks that he might, to your point, he might do something weird and score a touchdown or some shit.
Throw one,
Yeah.
There's a lot of props out there, over under how many players will throw a pass. And I don't think it's going to be more. I don't think these two teams have not shown the propensity to do trick plays a lot. So I think it's just going to be the quarterbacks. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but
I'm going to call my shot.
These two teams don't seem like and I haven't seen them do a lot of trick plays.
So. Well, that's the point, Rusty. You don't. Well, okay. If you do trick plays too much, then they're expected, right? So you got to hold it. So here I'm going to call my shot. AJ Barner is going to line up for a barnyard, the tush push, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to fake pass it for a touchdown. Mm. Like if they get within like the 7 inside the 10 and they got to like do the barnyard, or you have to be closer to the goal line. This would be like a goal line situation. Shit. I realize what I'm saying is a 1 yard pass at the 1 yard line.
Yes. But AJ, there's props on that, John. There's props on that. There's special Super Bowl specials. Will the Seahawks complete a pass or throw a pass on the 1 yard line? Will they throw a touchdown on the 1 yard line? Will they throw an interception on the 1 yard line?
I think AJ Barner throws I think he throws the ball. And the reason I'm saying this is they've been running the barnyard all year, and that's going to be I think they could get the defense caught off guard. Plus Clint Kubiak, he's leaving. He's going to try and he's not going to have AJ Barner next year. This is going to be his last chance to do that.
You talking like a Tim Tebow jump pass kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, my third X factor is a Patriot right there, number 66 on top left. Rookie left tackle Will Campbell. My man has gotten completely dominated in the playoffs. I mean, he has been a sieve on the left side, and he's going to go against DeMarcus Lawrence a lot.
Oh,
so I
hope he has found God.
Because good Lord, I would hope for Drake May's sake that they double and triple team and help every single play on
Lawrence out there. Split Leonard Williams out there. Imagine him on that matchup. Yeah. Be crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, Will Campbell's my third one. Talk about yours, John. Number 3 right there, rookie safety Nick Emanwori.
So I right away, his ankle's fine. He'll be all right. Now, is he 100%? We'll see. If he's not 100%, then it's going to be a different story. But if he's full health, then this guy, I almost struggle to say if he's the X factor, because to me, X factor indicates that if they do well, their team wins. If they don't, their team loses. I don't think that's a question for Emanwori. Emanwori's been outside of DeMarcus Lawrence, Nick Emanwori is the next best player. It's like 1A, 1B on this defense. And I know that is not considering all pros like Ernest Jones or Leonard Williams, right? But I've watched this team and I've enjoyed watching this defense week in and week out. When Emanwori came back from injury, he, had a few games to get used to being in the NFL. By midway in the season, that guy is what made this defense click. He's a chess piece. He's technically a safety. He plays a nickel a lot, but then he'll come into linebacker. He's even rushed off the edge. He's manned up at corner. He can do everything on the defense, literally everything. He hasn't done it yet, but put him at nose tackle. He'll probably freaking do that too. This guy is insane, and as a rookie is incredible, right? So this guy, his multiplicity that he can, since he can do everything on the defense, it allows his teammates to be able to be used in their best positions as well. He's really what makes this defense click.
Yeah.
So that's my rant about Imanwari. I understand why Schlesinger won Defensive Rookie of the Year. Because Imanwari came back. He missed, I think 3 games because of injury. And he played well. You know, every rookie's first few games is not necessarily hit the ground running. He played well. So I don't know if you even call him an X factor because you know how he's going to play. I guess he becomes an X factor now because of the injury. He wasn't on the injury report, but if he's not 100% and he's not playing, I still think Seattle will win without him. But he's what makes this defense go.
Yeah, the positional versatility is something that's wild out of a rookie. Allows McDonald's defense to stay in nickel. Really a base defense of nickel, which is a tough thing to do. But yeah, well, I would count him as an X factor. 1, because he's a rookie, and 2, because he's not a. I would not qualify him as a star yet because he's a rookie, right?
I think that's
a couple seasons.
Sauce Gardner, was he not a star his rookie year?
Sure, but he didn't play in the Super Bowl, and he's an outside corner, not a nickel.
Imanwari will play outside corner too. He will do everything. I understand the national media doesn't see him as a star. That changes Sunday night.
Right.
If it should be already. He's my MVP pick. This guy he's him, is what he is.
The 2 other ones on here, I don't classify those guys as stars, or not as stars, as X factors. But I put them on here because freaking Logan said his X factor was Kenneth Walker and the Seahawks run game. Unfortunately, Logan, I don't like either run game in this game. I have stayed away or tried to from all rushing props. Look, Seattle, are they number 1 against the run, John? Is that
Yeah, you can't run shit on them.
Well, it's a similar instance.
I think they are number 1. I'd have to look it up, but I'm 90% sure they're first.
Well, even if they're not, both of these teams are top 5 against the run. I'm pretty sure. So it's difficult to run, and I know Seattle has the better running game per se. But I'm telling you, when you're going up against Milton Williams inside there, and you mentioned this to us in the chat, Milton versus Anthony Bradford inside, is a difficult matchup for the Seahawks O-line. And I'm telling you, Logan and Danny both believe a lot in Kenneth Walker in this game, and I like him. And he's done a great job, especially being the guy in the NFC title game with Charbonnet out and Halani just coming back. But I'm telling you, I think this game is going to be won in the air.
That's interesting. I haven't heard that one yet. I don't disagree. I will say, I think the Patriots' X factor is Milton Williams, like you had mentioned. I mentioned it earlier. But I think that is the X factor if Seattle needs to pass the ball. So if you think they will have to, so then that's going to be a big matchup. I think Anthony Bradford is our best, as poor of a pass blocker. I'm not going to say he's our best run blocker. He's a great run blocker though. That's the reason he's starting, is because that guy will maul a guy, right? So
a big booty hoe, that's for sure.
Yeah, he run the ball, great. So if Seattle, the formula for the Patriots to win is their offense needs to keep them in the game. They need to. The defense is going to win most of the reps. The offense needs to do a good enough job just to stay in it. So if they can stay in it, that makes Seattle have to pass the ball more. And if Seattle has to pass the ball more and Milton Williams can get home, that's how New England wins. That's a lot of ifs, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and like I said, I don't think either is going to be able to run the ball, and hence the throwing, and that's why I believe a ton in Jackson Smith and Jigba. Like, I've been all over JSN props, receiving yards, touchdown, receptions, everything. Passing yards for Sam Darnold, pass attempts for both really, but more so Drake May because I believe they're going to be trailing. And even uh like receptions, receiving yards for Mac Hollins is another solid line. Receptions potentially for a guy like Kayshon Boutte. I don't know what the line is, but Jimmy's other X factor. Well, he had one for each team, and Shaheed was for the Seahawks. Patriots one for Jimmy is the guy on the bottom right there, Christian Gonzalez. And I'm telling you, I mean, Christian Gonzalez versus JSN, that's a loss every time. I know Christian Gonzalez, like when he was his rookie season, he was very good. But this season he hasn't been that good. I mean, he got beat up by Cortland Sutton a lot in the AFC Championship game. Um, so I don't know if he can cover JSN at all.
And then on top of that, Seattle's going to do a good job at getting JSN not lined up in man. Like, they've been putting him up, like he'll play outside, he'll play in the slot, man him up, whatever. When they put him in the backfield, though, then it confuses the defense. They're like, okay, well, in the backfield now, linebackers on you. Well, then, holy shit, you got a linebacker on JSN. You can't do that. So what do? Is the corner come down, the linebacker go up? So now the linebacker's on another receiver. Like, it fucks stuff up, right? Excuse my language, but Christian Gonzalez can only do so much. Seattle's going to just be if Gonzalez pops off and has a career game, and Gonzalez I haven't watched him like you have. He's a good player though.
Yeah.
Like, right? But I think Seattle's just going to be able to use JSN in other ways. And Shaheed's vertical speed, Gonzalez can't run that. So I don't know. It's going to be a good chess match.
Yeah, I mean, you brought up JSN out of the backfield. I mean, that's going to be very difficult, especially pending the status of Robert Spillane, who's questionable. I believe he has a lower body injury. I don't remember exactly what it is, but yeah, Spillane potentially. I heard that he could maybe not play, which would be a massive loss for the Patriots inside. All right, pick standings. John, look away. Look away, John.
Oh, damn. That's not good.
You started on the snowball effect, and you just kept going down the hill. The hill never went back up. So there, it's Jimmy versus Danny. And it's interesting because sometimes when we get this at the end of the season, they pick the same team, right? But y'all don't know who y'all are picking until I show you, unless you blurt it out on the chat, like sometimes everyone does. But
oh, I didn't know we're supposed to do that. We weren't.
I lone wolfed the Broncos, of course, last week. Unfortunately, so I lost. I'm solidified in fourth place. However, Logan has the opportunity, if Jimmy loses, to tie Jimmy for second place. Because Jimmy is lone wolfing the New England Patriots. And they switched everything up on me, so I'm trying to find my there it is. Yep. Yep, Jimmy is lone wolfing the New England Patriots. His final score, a low one, 17-14. The total set at 45.5 last time I saw, so that would hit the under. And he has the guy that came in second by 6 points in the MVP voting to win the Super Bowl MVP, the one that actually matters. So there you go.
I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. We already talked about it, and it's pretty clear who the better team is. What does make me nervous, and it's all just vibes, which, Jimmy, I appreciate you. That's a vibes pick. Love vibes. Good for you. It's cute, right?
We can do that one too.
But
Yeah.
I remember when the Seahawks were playing the Broncos, and people were so confident about the Broncos. They were giving Seattle a chance. And now it feels the inverse of that, where no one's giving the Patriots a chance. The difference, though, Rusty, is no one gave everyone loved Denver because of that offense.
Mhm.
Everyone loves Seattle because of that defense. And what do they say? Defenses win championships. So I hate sounding confident because it's going to make me look like a jackass if they lose, and they can every given Sunday, right? But I think it's going to be a beating. I was looking at the point differentials. I think me and you have the highest ones. You have a plus 14 win. I have a plus 18, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm very confident in it's been consistent. It stayed right at 4.5, I believe. Kind of from the start. I don't think it's very weird.
No, it stayed the same.
But yeah, I mean, I've been confident in 4.5 from the get go. I mean, that's low enough. It's under a touchdown. Unless you get an actually close game like Logan or Danny are calling for, but they're even there are still by a touchdown. I just don't see it being less than that 4.5 spread there. So I really like that one. And again, I mean, I guess I'll just go into mine. I mean, I talked about Christian Gonzalez, and I think the Sam Darnold being hot right now, his connection with JSN. I mean, I've been, like I said, all over a JSN. I went with an alternate first quarter because they had a boost on DraftKings for first quarter props, receiving props or whatever. And I went alternate because his line was like 35 or something like that. I like 20. I think JSN will get 20 plus in the first quarter, 1 or 2 receptions. But I think he's going to go off. I don't think he's going to break Jerry Rice's record of 216. But I do think he'll go over 100 and score a touchdown and have at least 7 receptions. So that is in the mold of his teammate winning the Super Bowl MVP in Cooper Kupp. It's tough to do it as a receiver if your quarterback has a great day, which I do think Sam Darnold will. I just think, I don't know. I think JSN will probably win it because he's the best offensive player, I think, on the field between both teams.
So JSN's your MVP?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have is this our opportunity to talk our MVP as well? Or do you look at the other guys' options? Okay. Gosh. Because I already alluded to it earlier. Emin Wari is my MVP. And that's I'll be honest, that's me. That's my vibes pick. You know how Jimmy's vibes pick was lone wolfing the Patriots? Love it. Love that energy. My vibes pick is MVP. And here's my thought process. Seattle, as I predict, they're going to handedly beat the Patriots, right? Like plus 18, not a blowout, but it wasn't close, right? When that's how they won the first Super Bowl against the Broncos. And it was, of all people, your third linebacker, Malcolm Smith, because of a pick six, right?
Yeah.
The defense went crazy, right?
I'm a Super Bowl MVP I've ever seen.
Yeah. Who do you think it should have been? I love Malcolm Smith. I
couldn't tell you. I don't remember.
I get it. He had a pick six. I love Cam Chancellor would have been another good option too, though. Love that man. That's a Hall of Famer right there. I think Seattle's defense is the reason this is a blowout, or that it's that not close, right? And if that's the case, Darnold then doesn't need to go off. Look at his stat line against the 49ers. He didn't go off. Kenneth Walker would have been the MVP of that game, right? So I could see K9, but I really think something crazy happens on defense. And of all the defenders who could, DeMarcus Lawrence could be an option too, right? Because to a forced fumble, I could see him going through Will Campbell. You can't tell me that that's not realistic that he go through Will Campbell and strip sack Drake May.
Yeah, I have plays in on 1+ sack for both DeMarcus Lawrence and Leonard Williams.
Yeah, so like something crazy is going to happen. So I went with him and Warren because I was talking about, he's the glue. He's around the ball all the time. So I guess legit pick is pick him on defense. My pick him was him and Warren.
No rookies ever won Super Bowl MVP. Just saying.
Well, yeah, but there also never was a Super Bowl to have go into overtime until like a few years ago either.
Yeah, no, he had 2.
Yeah. Shit never happens until it happens.
Well, let's go into the other 2 that we haven't covered yet. Danny and Logan, I mentioned their scores, similar 7-point affairs there for a Seattle victory. Danny, he has Kenneth Walker as his MVP, and his reasoning, he texted me. He said 150 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns for K9 there. So
I can see K9 going off. I really can.
Sure. Again, I don't think the rushing attack's going to be good for either team, but that's just me. Logan was like, yours was interesting, but your team. Logan's was Devon Witherspoon. I have not seen anyone talk about my man Devon Witherspoon the entire time until Logan brought him up and said he's my MVP.
I don't think that's crazy. Literally what I was just saying, like, pick him on defense. Lawrence makes sense. Warren makes sense. But you know who else is similar to Warren? And that's what's crazy. Devin Witherspoon. He gets his hand on balls like crazy. So I think that's you're right. They haven't been talking about him, but I could see that happening too.
He's got a chance. If he gets 2 picks, I think he's got a shot. I don't even think he has to return them for one for touchdown. I think if he gets 2 interceptions, he's got to enter. He's got a chance.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So there it is. 4-1. Seahawks win in Santa Clara. Next week we'll see if we got a show. I'm hoping to get this back here. If I had to do just go rogue and be by myself, it's all good. But hopefully next week we'll start off season week 1 NFL draft order finalized. We'll have a talk about season recap, highs, lows, surprises, everything like that. And also shortly, I mean, it's not that long till we start mocking, John. It's going to be that time soon.
It's time to do it soon. The player I want Seattle or any team is going to, every single team should say this. The player I want out of this draft, Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah, he lit it up the first day I was down in Mobile.
What's
E
his knock? He's short.
everywhere on the field. No, I mean, I don't remember his, measurables, but no,
I
I
think
mean,
he's like 5'10". Like
he's everywhere. I think maybe the issue, maybe, I don't know, but I've seen him late first, early second, in some of the early mocks that have been out. Um, maybe speed, I don't know what he runs, but coverage ability is where he, um, or I can't remember if it one of the 2. It's either coverage ability or run stuffing. I can't one of them is the knock on him. I think it's coverage ability, though. I think he's inconsistent in covering, but I could be wrong. Anyways. All right. Appreciate it, John. Go Seahawks. And we will don't forget to follow us on all our social media at FAA Podcast, Instagram and X, FAA_bets on X as well. FAApodcast.com's website. Check us out on here on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, as well as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and TikTok at Football Addicts Pod. And we will see y'all back on Monday.